What's up, everyone? Welcome to the January 17th edition of FanDuel Tournament Plays presented by Prize Picks. I'm your host, Adam Scherer. You can find me on Twitter at ShipMyMoneyDFS. And as a reminder, you get 1 free month of Awesemo Plus Platinum when you sign up and make a deposit at Prize Picks. Be sure to use the code Awesemo to receive your 100% first deposit bonus up to $100. Today, we're going to take a look at 5 of the top tournament options on FanDuel. Keep in mind that ownership projections and player projections will change throughout the day. Be sure to tune in to the deeper dive from 5 to 6 p.m. for more up-to-date information leading up to FanDuel's lock. Number 5, Jalen Suggs, projected for only 9% ownership, a 13% chance of being in the optimal lineup. He's $5,400 with point guard and shooting guard eligibility. Suggs played about 24 minutes off the bench in his return to action last time out, but he did get some garbage time run, which I typically think is a good sign for someone when they're on a minutes limit. It suggests to me that the coaching staff is looking to ramp the player up as quickly as they can. I expect Suggs to play a couple more minutes tonight. It's possible he returns to the starting lineup, but that remains to be seen. He does have a good matchup against the Blazers as well. And while Suggs has only averaged 0.85 FanDuel points per minute this season, that's mostly due to inefficient shooting. He has about a 26% usage rate. It's unusual to find a player at his price point at relatively low ownership that offers the sort of upside that Suggs does based on his usage rate this year. Number 4, OG Anunoby projected for 18% ownership with a 20% chance of being in the optimal lineup. He's $6,300, small forward and power forward eligible. He's averaged 0.92 FanDuel points per minute this season. He's likely to give you about 36 minutes if tonight's game is competitive. There's no real injury news that affects him on Toronto. They've gotten a bit healthier recently. Gary Trent Jr. is questionable tonight. Scotty Barnes is expected back, but none of that should have too much of an impact on Anunoby. The minutes should still be there. The production should still be there, and he looks to be going a bit under-owned tonight on FanDuel. Number 3, Yusuf Nurkic is projected for 19% ownership with a 24% chance of being in the optimal lineup. He's only $7,500. And while the Blazers are getting healthier, with CJ McCollum expected to return tonight and Norman Powell questionable to return, the front court is still shorthanded. Cody Zeller remains out. Larry Nance Jr. remains out. And the biggest issue that Nurkic has had from a fantasy standpoint this season is that at times he was just limited to playing 26, 28 to 28 minutes. But that was when you had a full strength front court for Portland. Even if McCollum and Powell both return tonight, I fully expect Nurkic to play north of 30 minutes as long as he's able to avoid foul trouble. And he's averaged 1.24 FanDuel points per minute this season. Number 2, Russell Westbrook. It has not been very good this year, but his salary on FanDuel is down to $8,100. He's projected for 28% ownership, but has a 30% chance of being in the optimal lineup. Westbrook has averaged 1.14 FanDuel points per minute this season. The scoring system certainly is not ideal for Westbrook, who we know is very turnover prone, and a lot of his fantasy value on other sites comes from his ability to get double-double and triple-double bonuses that don't exist on FanDuel. But that's all made up for by the fact that the salary is only $8,100. And number 1, coming in as the top tournament option on FanDuel, Scotty Barnes, not listed on the injury report tonight, projected for 21% ownership with a 27% chance of being in the optimal lineup. He's inexpensive at $5,600, has small forward and power forward eligibility. He's averaged 0.93 FanDuel points per minute this season, and I expect that he'll play his normal minutes and get around 35 or 36 minutes if this game's competitive. Makes him look like a very strong value option tonight on FanDuel. So to recap, the top 5 tournament options as they stand right now: Jalen Suggs at number 5, OG Anunoby number 4, number 3, Yusuf Nurkic, number 2, Russell Westbrook, and number 1, Scotty Barnes.